If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm today to get started. Hello, self-developers, and welcome to the Patrick Kelly Podcast for Self-Development, where I will be reviewing audible books on self-development that can change your life for the better this year and years to come. It is said that if we keep on doing what we always did, we will keep on getting what we always got. In other words, to change our output, we first have to change our input. Today is May 15th, 2022, and this is episode 20 of season 2. And today we'll be reviewing the audible book, Begin with the End in Mind, Habit 2 of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by Covey. This audible book will teach you the concept of beginning everything that you do with the end in mind. In episode 19, I discussed the first habit of highly effective people, which is to be proactive. I enjoyed the audible book so much that I decided to do the entire 7 habits through episode 25 so that you can really understand and know the 7 habits. But remember, to know and not do is really not to know. What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us.
Lesson number 1.
Write down what you truly desire by creating a personal mission statement. In that personal mission statement, you clarify for yourself what end you serve, what you want to be, your character, what you want to do with your life, your contributions and achievements. Your mission statement is like a personal constitution. It is the basis for making major life-directing decisions as well as smaller daily choices in the midst of the ups and downs of life. Your mission statement should always express you and what is important to you. Our true meaning comes from within and not from without.
Lesson number 2.
Where do we get our sense of who we are? Where do we get our sense of what our life is about? Habit 1 is the awareness that you are the programmer. The best way to predict your future is to create it. Habit 2 decides what your life is about. When you live out your memory, you focus on the past. When you live out your imagination, you focus on the future. What lies behind us is nothing compared to what lies within us and ahead of us. Study the lives of any successful person and you will find that they became successful by concentrating on their inner world instead of their outer world.
Lesson number 3.
Man should not ask what the meaning of his life is, but rather must recognize that it is he who is asked. Each man is questioned by life, and he can only answer to life by answering for his own life. To life, we can only respond by being responsible or able to respond. Personal responsibility or proactivity is fundamental to the first creation. Habit 1 says, you are the programmer. Habit 2 says, write the program. Until you accept the idea that you are responsible, that you are the programmer, you won't really invest in writing the program.
Lesson number 4.
Personal leadership is not a single experience. It doesn't begin and end with the writing of a personal mission statement. It is rather the ongoing process of keeping your vision and values before you and aligning your life to be congruent with those most important things. It is another application of begin with the end in mind. A good affirmation has 5 basic ingredients. It's personal, it's positive, it's present tense, it's visual, and it's emotional. If you visualize the wrong thing, you will produce the wrong thing. All of the world-class athletes and other peak performers are visualizers. They see it, they feel it, they experience it before they actually do it. They begin with the end in mind.
Lesson number 5.
Affirmations and visualizations are forms of programming, and we must be certain that we do not submit ourselves to any programming that is not in harmony or congruent with our basic center, or that comes from sources centered on money-making, self-interest, or anything other than correct principles. Writing your mission statement in terms of your important roles in your life gives you balance and harmony. It keeps each role clearly before you. You can review your roles frequently to make sure you don't get totally absorbed by one role to the exclusion of others that are equal or even more important in your life. An effective goal focuses primarily on results rather than activity. It identifies where you want to be and in the process helps you determine where you are. It gives you important information on how to get there, and it tells you when you have arrived. It unifies your efforts and energy, and it gives meaning and purpose to all you do. Habit 2 is truly the habit of vision. Closing thoughts. On a scale of 1 to 5, I would give this Audible book a super duper 5 for providing 5 lessons on how to begin with the end in mind. To find out more about this Audible book, go to www.audible.com and download this Audible book, or go to www.franklincovey.com to find out more information and other books written by the author. Remember to hit the subscribe button on your favorite podcast platform so you do not miss an episode. And also remember to please share this episode via text or email with friends and family and other people that you care about. Follow me on Twitter at Kelly Podcast or Instagram at Patrick Kelly Podcast. For more episodes of the Patrick Kelly Podcast for self-development, go to www.thepatrickkellypodcast.com. If you would like to donate $1 or more to the support of this podcast, click the donate button at www.thepatrickkellypodcast.com or go to $Patrick Kelly Podcast on Cash App, and I'll be sure to thank you on the next episode. This is the end of this podcast for today. Tune in next week Sunday for the next episode and the next Audible book of over 300 books that I'll be reviewing on the Patrick Kelly Podcast for self-development. If you enjoyed this podcast, take a moment to rate and review on Apple Podcasts. This really helps me out. Feel free to share this podcast with someone you care about. And remember, your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. Take care.